Red Sox top prospect Roman Anthony is officially ranked the second best prospect in all of baseball, and in today's video we're going to go over his trading card market and see what he's currently doing in AAA. We're also going to compare him to some fellow counterparts like Jackson Holliday and Jackson Chourio and see how he compares rank to those guys when they were currently down in AAA, and also of course review their card market. So with all that being said, let's dive deep into the video. But of course, before we do that, I do want to preface, like I say in all my videos, this is not meant to be taken as financial advice. So I am not telling you to go out and buy all his rainbow parallels, all his autos from every set. Prospecting in baseball is very risky. So please take all this research here and information with a grain of salt, and please do your own research. Also, before we get into the video here, just wanted to highlight this here. MLB, MILB, whoever does these pictures here, man, they got to get some better pictures. And Roman Anthony needs to get some sleep. The man looks tired. I mean, he looks like look at the green hair. He looks like a Joker. Just wanted to point that out here. So if you see this, his hair is not actually green, it's green screen. They obviously did not do a very good job of that, but yeah, they need to update this picture. So before we dive into the number, let's just talk about to see what these rankings mean and who's held the number 2 spot previously in the past year. So currently in Baseball America rankings here in the September update, Roman Anthony is now ranked the second best prospect in all of baseball behind Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays. And just to provide a little bit of context of who's had the number 2 spot here in these rankings. So Lou Bob had it in 2020, Adley Rutschman had it in 2021, Julio had it in 2022, and Jackson Chourio had it in 2023. Of course, Lou Bob has had a little bit of a rough, couple of years there in Chicago. I think when healthy, he can be one of the better players in baseball. Adley Rutschman, of course, since he's basically changed the franchise of the Baltimore Orioles ever since he got called up. Granted, they didn't make the playoffs in 21. And I believe in 22 as well. He's done a phenomenal job behind that, and he's been a big part of what they're doing right now in Baltimore. Julio as well has had a little bit of a down year so far, but it would not surprise me if next year he comes back strong. He's an MVP favorite every year and is a Seattle Mariner favorite for years to come. And same thing with Jackson Chourio. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, and then now has been putting up some crazy numbers. And I think out of all the Jacksons, when you compare him to Jackson Chourio, Jackson Murrow, and Jackson Holliday, is the Jackson that doesn't get a lot of love. So not the number 2 spot here, being ranked number 2, is not a slouch and is very high praise for Roman Anthony. So let's currently take a look and see what he's doing down in AAA. If you guys didn't see my last video, you guys would know that him, Kyle Teal, and Marcelo Meyer all got the call up to AAA all at the same time. Kristen Campbell came a little bit later, but this is currently what he's doing right now in 18 games as far as I'm recording this here on Tuesday on September 3rd. In 73 at-bats and 84 plate appearances, he has 3 home runs, has scored 16, has driven in 10, has walked 10, and struck out 13 times. One thing with Roman Anthony is the way he controls the zone. 11.9% walk rate, basically 12%, and a 15.5% strikeout rate is very impressive for his age. He is only 20 years old. So that's something you got to keep in mind at his age. The fact that he's controlling the zone like that, even in spring training too, has showed there that he's not overmatched or is potentially going to be overmatched, and can control the strike zone really well, and of course is hitting for power at his age. 219 ISO. I've mentioned all my videos. ISO over 200 is when what you want to look for. ISO basically just is basically isolated power. If you guys don't know, and basically it just takes into consideration all the extra base hits here. So ISO 200 is very good. OPS sitting at 927, a slug at 534, and an on-base percentage of 393. So all good numbers in his recent call up to AAA, sitting at a WRC plus of 139 and a hard hit percentage of 37.7. But also just take a look to see what he's doing at AA as well before he got the call up. 15 home runs. Again, the walk to strikeout rate, 48 walks and 96 strikeouts. Again, keeping at 12.8%. Strikeout rate was a little bit high, 25.5. Not going to ignore that. A little bit higher here percentages compared to the 30.6 that he had in A-ball there. But again, the ISO 220, BABIP 336, WOBA 384, and WRC plus 142. So was above league average here, and is, for his age, again, it's something you want to consider, was putting up some pretty good numbers. So now let's go ahead and compare him to Jackson Holliday. What was Jackson Holliday doing when he first to AAA? That's what I really want to focus on here. Obviously, we can see Jackson Holliday, what he did down in A-ball, the complex league, AA. He absolutely tore it up. Not going to be ignoring that here with Roman Anthony. Obviously, you can see a little bit of the struggle down there in A-ball. and also, in the complex league as well, killed it in the complex league. But what I want to focus on for this video is see what they were doing when they first touched AAA. Jackson Holiday touched AAA last year in 2023, had 75 at bats. And we can see here when Roman Anthony hit AAA, they're pretty similar. So 73 at bats, 2 less, 75 at bats. Roman Anthony 3 home runs. Jackson Holiday had 2 home runs. Batting average here 315 for Roman Anthony. Jackson Holiday sitting at 267, and comparing the walk and K rates, obviously Jackson Holiday here have a little bit of a higher control in the strike zone. 17.6% was an exceptional once again for his age. He was only 19. Roman Anthony is a year older. He was born 2004. Holiday born the year before. So controlling the zone 17.6 compared to 11.9. Strikeout percentage though, a little bit higher, sitting at 18.7%, and Roman Anthony of course sitting at 15.5. But you also want to look here at the power. So Jackson Holiday here sitting at a 133 ISO. Roman Anthony, as we just touched here, at a 219. BAPIP here pretty similar, 321 BAPIP here for Jackson Holiday, 345. WOBA 370 here for Jackson Holiday, WOBA 405. WRC plus a little bit more for Roman Anthony sitting at 139, and Jackson Holiday for 109. Hard hit percentage a little bit more advanced there for Jackson Holiday, hitting the ball a little bit more harder at a better rate here than Roman Anthony in those at bats. But you can see here pretty similar. And of course with Jackson Holiday, he gets a lot of praise. He's one of the more highly touted prospects that I remember for a player his age and his caliber, and he gets a lot of love. He gets a lot of love both in the hobby and from MLB fan bases. So you can kind of see here they're pretty similar players. Now Jackson Chourio is a little bit of more of a different case, because he really didn't have that many games down in AAA. Only had 6 games here under his belt, 21 at bats, and you can see here still put up some crazy numbers. But take a look to see what Jackson Chourio was doing in AA. 22 home runs, 84 runs scored, 89 driven in, 280 batting average down there in AA. But you kind of see here once again the ISO, the OPS, not as advanced as Roman Anthony, granted a little bit lower in terms of at-bats and AA here. Roman Anthony at 323. Jackson Chourio basically had a full year down in AA with 559 plate appearances, 510 at-bats. So roughly, give or take 200 more. But you can see here, once again, Roman Anthony showcasing a little bit more power. 142 WRC plus. Jackson Chourio here at 112. WOBA here 358. Roman Anthony 384. BAPIP 336, 311. ISO, once again, 220. ISO here for Jackson Chourio, 186. OPS 803, 856 for Roman Anthony. Slugging 489, 467. So you can see here Roman Anthony has a little bit more power, but we can make the inference here based on the numbers that Roman Anthony has a little bit more power than these guys. And I think here, once again, with the strike zone and the walking and the less strike percentage, he is a little bit more advanced, even with Jackson Chourio as well. You can see here 7.3% compare walk percentage to an 18.4 K percentage. Roman Anthony here 12.8% walk percentage here, a little bit higher than Jackson Chourio as far as the K percentage, but again, the walk percentage higher than Jackson Chourio. So when you're comparing these players, that's something you want to keep an eye out for. Again, Jackson Chourio doesn't get a lot of love compared to the other Jacksons. He's still a phenomenal player. He's still very young as well, only 20 years old, and is putting up some really good numbers here in the second half of the season. Now let's talk some trading cards. With Roman Anthony, obviously with prospects, you want to look at first Bowman autos. I typically just like to look at first Bowman, just a regular base auto, or obviously Bowman Chrome, or out of 499, the refractors. Those are the 2 cards that I like to go based on. Obviously, you can use different types of parallels, different variants. There's so many parallels out there these days. You can use, whatever you like. But those are the 2 that I just like to compare and see, what they're doing on a trend. Because obviously, these 2 are going up. Obviously, you can probably make the inference that the other parallels, the lower number parallels, are probably going a little bit higher as well. Like your out of 50s or 25s or 250s, whatever the case may be. So let's just take a look at raw, and then we'll also take a look here at PSA 10s. So first Bowman, just again, regular base here. That's going to be your darker blue here. So right off the bat here, and we compare the 2 here, and this is all data from the release date here from sales. So we can see here, first Bowman auto sitting at $62, out of $499 sitting at $146. Took a little bit of a downward trend here. You were able to buy a base auto for $38.50. And then it slowly went up here, 130. This was on August 6th of 2023. And last year as well, 120. And take a look here at the 499 here during the off season here. 230 for a refractor here. Then it had its highest peak here back in November, sitting at $305, while the regular base kind of took a little bit of a dip here to 130 compared to what we're seeing at 144 and normal price here of 130. And then again here, the refractor took a little bit of a bigger dip here once again during the offseason as we were getting ready for spring training, sitting at 153. Then he had a pretty good showing in spring training, so I'm thinking maybe that's why we had a little bit of an increase. We saw 270, 294, and then again a little bit of a dip here as the season went along. And then you see here back in May, 177, 152, and then 150 and 172 here. And just clicking here on these averages, we got a $10 change here in the last 30 days. Average sale price here of 124. This is all courtesy of Market Movers. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. If you guys want to check them out, I'll link them down in the description down below if you guys want to check these out. 49 out of the 499 here. Don't know why it's showing it's showing a $2.50. I thought it said 250 was the last sale. Like, I don't think that's right. Last sale here was 160. Average sale price here of 159. And taking a look here at the PSA 10s, going to see a little bit of a different numbers here. We have a pop 114 and a pop 138 of the base compared to the refractor. So the refractor is 625 back in July of last year, 610, 347 for the normal base. Refractor going back up here to 650. Then a little bit of a dip here to 560 once again during the offseason. You can tell here the offseason may be a little bit of a time here for looking to get into the prospects. Might be the time to buy potentially while it leads up to spring training. Got 400 sale of the normal base auto, 550 for the refractor. And then a 495 here, a little bit of a dip, And now looking here at some more recent sales here, 367. You can see your 103% changes for both of those cards. And once again here, the PSA 10 sitting at a $5 change in the negatives. 213 is your average price here. Last sale sitting at 210. And then of course here for the out of 499 last sale 325, $42 change here. Average sale price here sitting at $346. But now let's take a look here at eBay, because sometimes eBay can give you a little bit more realistic as far as like what's moving right now. Obviously, some of these applications here for using Market Movers, Card Ladder, Card Hedge, whatever you're deciding to use, can take a little bit longer to update as far as of data. But I always like to go at eBay as well to see what certain cards here are doing. So we got a normal Boma's Best auto going for $50, a $299 Speckle auto for $499. That's best offer, so it probably went a little bit lower than that. Let's see here, True Refractor PSA 10 went for $330. SGC 10, perfect 10 here, 10 auto, 10 mint here on card, 435 here, 499. I think that's a pretty good deal. We have the Bowman's Best here again on card, $30.53. I think these are really, really nice. Really low key if you can't afford the first Bowman, a little bit more expensive. Bowman's Best here, not a bad option to look at here, especially when you're just trying to collect on card autos and or prospects. 139 September 3rd here. This is the day of the recording. On card auto non-graded. This is a auto sign. Probably got that sign at a minor league game. Let's take a look here. A 2000 Pro Chrome Refractor out of 10 just sold for 2000. Best offer 149. That was on September 1st. So this kind of gives you an idea of what these cards are. Super Refractor 1 of 1. This went for $721. You can get the Topps Chrome, which you can only get it here at the National. That's a nice pickup. $44.99 again. $60 here for SGC 9 mint auto. I think that was a mint auto grade of 10. The card's a 9. Let's see here, an orange shimmer out of 25 went for $1,925 on a bidding. Again, the Speckle went for $329. So that kind of gives you an idea of what he's currently doing. Obviously, his market is obviously increasing due to what he's doing down there in AAA and just what the recent rise and news that he's getting surrounding himself. So now what to do if you're trying to get into some Roman Anthony stock and some Roman Anthony cards. Obviously right now I would brutally say here it's probably going to be a bad time to buy. Obviously his recent rise, what he's doing down at AAA and his recent rise in the rankings, there's going to be a lot of people selling. So if you have a stock of his cards, it may be a good time to sell. If you're a buyer, maybe a bad time. As you can see here by the background, I am a big Red Sox fan, so obviously I'm a little bit more biased when it comes to his trading cards. So I do have a little bit of a stack of his own personal collection. Have some actually going off to PSA as we speak. So I do have my own little personal collection of Roman Anthony and some other cards here that I have also sold here on the site, because I do obviously take advantage of his trend and his market. So if his market is going up, I know what cards I have. I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. So Overall, if you're a long-term holder, maybe you don't care about that. But again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, none of this is meant to be taken as financial advice. So please, again, do your own research, read the market, read the player, see what he's doing down AAA, and make your own judgment going from there. So that is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, kind of a new style of editing too, kind of messing with some different things, or kind of want to change up the style of the content a little bit as when it comes to viewership. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this new style of content, this new style of video. If you guys enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a like and comment down below as well. Are you a fan of Roman Anthony? Are you buying Roman Anthony? Do you have a collection of Roman Anthony? Sign up in the comments down below if you are collecting or buying, selling, trading any of his trading cards. Also, link down below is going to be the podcast here to where we probably going to talk about Baseball America into more detail with a co-host of mine. So if you guys want to check that out, please feel free to check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast information from. There's also some videos here on the channel as well. So please feel free to go check out those previous episodes. If you guys haven't yet, please feel free to hit the subscribe button here. That is going to be a free way here to help support the channel and support me. I do thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.